right, so last week I posted this question on Facebook. What weighs more, muscle or fat? Trevor had to be smart aleck, but really a pound of muscle and a pound of fat both weigh a pound. So let's talk a little bit about...
And a pound of butter also weighs
a pound. And a pound of you and a pound of me weigh a pound too.
Yeah.
Or together are 2 pounds.
This is true. So I mean, you see that you see a lot of people, like I would say, innocently make this mistake, right? Because we're thinking less of mass and more of like volume, right? And so volume, from a volume to volume standpoint, a pound of fat from a volume standpoint takes up more space, right? It's big, it's fluffy,
yeah,
right? It's a good thing. We want it. It cushions organs and it cushions our body. Muscle is very like compact. So the fibers and everything, they're really compact. And so it takes up a lot less space. So a pound of fat and a pound of muscle both weigh a pound, but they just take up different spaces. So that's why if you were to, let's say, lose weight, or let's say not lose weight, but you changed your body composition, so you weigh the same, but your waist is slimmer, and the machine says you gained muscle and you lost fat, you still weigh the same because maybe you lost 3 pounds of fat and you gained 3 pounds of muscle and water, but you're just going to take up less space in the world, so you're going to look smaller. And
I think that's why it's so important to do regular body comps. Like once a year is not an appropriate amount of time. I would say, like, depending on what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve. If your goal is weight loss right now and you're seriously trying to lose weight, you should be doing a body comp every week. If you're looking more on the maintenance side of things, like once a month, the first of the month is usually about where I go.
I like once a month because, like, we get caught up in patterns in life where maybe we just got out of a routine. We're not eating the same way that we have been or that we had been, and now that little check-in can just be enough to be like, oh, it's starting to slide. I need to tighten things up a little bit. And so it's really just it gives you nice empirical, non-judgmental data on what is going on inside your body, and you can then make the appropriate lifestyle decisions you need in order to correct course if you need to correct course. So once a month I think is good. Once every 6 weeks is pretty good. If you're really not all that concerned about body composition, maybe like once a quarter, just to have an idea on like what's going on.
Yeah, and I know sometimes as we age that we're not necessarily worried about the weight on the scale, but it is still important to do body comps because we want to make sure we're maintaining or gaining muscle mass. We definitely want to stay away from losing muscle, especially as we age.
Those are good questions. Let's talk about the one with like, I'm frustrated with things not moving, right?
Yeah, I think, weren't we kind of on that one?
Yeah, I don't know where it was. All right, so someone wrote in, so we like to pull questions from our challenge Q&A, and one person was...
Oh, about this one?
No, the one about like, I'm frustrated about things not moving, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So someone wrote in about like, hey, scale's not moving, or I'm not losing weight, yada, 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 and I'm frustrated because things aren't moving in the direction that I want them to move in. So
yeah, I have physically noticed my gut shrinking, but the scale hasn't moved much. I realize it's a process, but it's frustrating nonetheless. And the person had done a body comp since June, so...
Right, so there's a couple things there. One is we need good data. So like, I think things are happening. Like, is it necessarily a good, all right, are things happening? Let's get some data. Let's see what's actually happening. And then there's this process, right? And so there's processes with all things in life. If we think about water that freezes, or we think about water that boils. So an ice cube, right, is an ice cube until 32 degrees. That doesn't mean that like all the work getting up to 32 degrees is lost. And so once you hit 32 degrees, things change. So the same thing with boiling, right? What's boiling, 212? So at 211, water is not boiling at all. At 212, there's a process that flips, and all of a sudden water is boiling. And that's a 1 degree difference.
Very impressed in your chemical reactions right now.
I like that. So what happens is it's all this energy that's built up in order for that next thing to happen. There's another analogy that I like to use a lot is like if you're pounding on a rock with a hammer, right? If you're pounding on a rock with a hammer, it's probably not going to break in half right away. But if you keep pounding and keep pounding, keep pounding, over time, on one hit, it's all of a sudden just going to break. But was it that one hit that broke the rock? No, it was the 99 other ones that you did before that. And so a lot of times when maybe we've stalled in our progress or we're not seeing progress, really what's happening is you're just building up energy in order for that change to happen. But if you were to stop at that point, right? If you were to stop heating water at 211 degrees it would not boil, right? But you didn't know that you were only 1 degree away from it boiling. And so I think a lot of people are so close to a breakthrough, but because they're not seeing progress, they're not seeing a breakthrough right now, they feel like everything is lost, when that's really not necessarily the case. You're just building up energy in order for that thing to happen, right? We see it happen all the time in nature. And so if you find yourself frustrated with progress not happening, first check in with, am I doing the things that I need to do in order to be successful?
Which is like my go-to quote, the things that get measured get managed.
Right.
So if you're not checking in and doing the things.
Right. We can't be frustrated with the result not happening.
And are you
right?
being honest with those things? Because I think like even like we find ourselves sometimes going, well, I've been eating really healthy, or I've been doing this, or I've been doing that, and then I realize, oh, well, I had dessert every night last week.
Or I was out to eat 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah. So like don't think you're alone, but like really being honest. So like not just saying like, yes, I am, like writing it down and like tracking the food is a really good way to see if you are being as accountable as you say you are.
Right, so if you're honest with the process and you're doing the process long enough and things aren't changing, like keep at the process because you're building up this energy in order for a change to happen. And that's, I think, really with anything in life, learning new skills, weight loss, like anything you want to accomplish, it doesn't just like you do it and you get it typically. It's like you have to put in the time and the effort in order to accomplish this thing. And weight loss is really no different, or muscle building or getting our health back or anything like that is all related to this. So I put a really cool quote on Facebook. It's in the Facebook group, or it might be on our business page as well.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's a great quote from James Clear in Atomic Habits. So check that out, and that might provide a little more clarity as well.